Look, we know Ron Johnson, the high flyer from Apple, came over, big plans to turn around JCPenney. Those plans did not bear fruit in the first quarter.
It didn't, and it was such a different tone yesterday than anything we've seen. You know, when Ron was hired, the stock just skyrocketed. A lot of investors really believe in him. When he made his first presentation a few months ago with this big transformation, a lot of people believed in it again. The stock went up. Yesterday, totally different tone. No one clapped for him when he got on the stage. It was just like more dour. Investors were really wary. People were rolling their eyes, calling it a bloodbath.
Because of the earnings. I mean, the earnings were absolutely, I mean, I don't want to say they were terrible. They were terrible. I don't want to say they were, but I mean, they were way off what anybody expected.
They were.
I mean, I think we have can we pull up the chart on that? Well, you can see the stock down 14% today. So investors voting with their keyboards.
Exactly.
You know, I watched the conference call. I watched the webcast today. We did a live blog on it on the website. It seemed like they were trying to put on an Apple show.
They were.
I mean, they clearly were.
It was a really, like you said, it was a hard sell.
Those are some of the numbers there. So those are the numbers, those are the hard numbers that were reported, and then we had this show.
Right, and in the first few minutes, it was funny seeing Ron trying to calm everyone. He kept saying, it's going to take time. He must have said that like 4 times in the first 30 seconds of the speech. And, you know, it was just really him trying to calm investors and saying, you know, this is a big turnaround we're trying to do. It's not going to be overnight, and trying to assuage any fear out there. What was interesting is they finally admitted that this is going to be a harder task than they thought. They came in really confident, saying they've never had a miss. You know, look at the management team. They worked at Apple, Target, all these companies that did really well. And then yesterday, they said, you know what? Coupons were a drug for our customer. It's really hard to wean them off of it. They're not accepting our new pricing strategy, and it's going to be longer than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, look, you talk about a drug. I don't want to say that. I keep saying I don't want to say things, then I say them. Ron Johnson was kind of a drug for JCPenney investors, and it seemed like yesterday they sobered up.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when you talk to Ron, he really harked on the past in his Apple days, and he says when he came there, you know, it was a similar situation. Apple wasn't doing well. He kind of revived it, and that's what he's looking to do at JCPenney. But it's a totally different business model, and it's different product. Yeah,
right.
It's a totally different product.
Vastly different.
And it's a lot more product, and it's really hard to kind of right the ship when you're managing so much more.
Now, yesterday they sort of detailed this whole town square concept and a lot of the brands that they'll be selling new stuff. Do you think shareholders do you think they were sated by that? Do you think that kind of offset some of the anger from the
There were
conference
obviously
call?
a lot less of the oohs and ahs that we saw in January when they unveiled the Martha Stewart store and some of the other brands. This time it was just kind of more of the same. Let's see how it pans out. I mean, they're still bleeding money. I visited a JCPenney yesterday before the show and spoke to some of the longtime customers, and they're just saying, you know what, we don't come as much, we don't like the new pricing, I want my coupons. So that's going to be the hardest part.
It's the bottom line. It's a much harder road for JCPenney than people thought.